We're halfway through our 21-day Mediterranean cruise. As we leave Rome and head back towards Sicily and the Strait of Messina, we pass by the volcanic island of Stromboli.
We're going to go ahead and continue with this morning's scenic cruising of the island of Stromboli, which is right here off the port side of the ship. As I mentioned, you can see one of the two villages on the island. Stromboli has actually been famous for its regular fireworks since ancient times. It's one of the very few volcanoes in the world that is in near constant activity and has been for over 2,000 years.
As we enter the port of Messina, we are greeted by the Golden Madonna with the inscription, "We bless you and your city." The legend is that is a quote from a letter sent by the Virgin Mary, carried by the Apostle Paul when he came to convert the Sicilians to Christianity in the year 42. We arrive just in time to make it to the plaza to see the ringing of the largest animated clock in the world. Its gears and levers all run by a large counterweight, and was built in 1933.
Oh, there's the
The bell tower also houses one of the largest astronomical clocks in the world. Also in the plaza is the Fountain of Orion by Giovanni Montorcelli, a follower of Michelangelo. The Messina Cathedral dates back to Norman times and has been destroyed and rebuilt many times due to both war and earthquakes, but much of its original ornamentation has been able to be reused.
Mentre dall'altra parte vedete le figure più piccole, c'è l'arcivescovo effettivamente.
Our plans for the day are to take a scenic train ride to Taormina. On the way we visited with some other tourists from Australia. They were very entertaining, and we just loved their story on how the flamenco dancers in Spain were just mad, really mad at that floor. After arriving at the train station, we take a bus up to the little town of Taormina, at the foot of Mount Etna. After finishing our day of sightseeing with a quick gelato, we managed to catch the last train back to the ship. As evening approaches, the Golden Madonna bids us a farewell, as we say arrivederci to Sicily. We continue our voyage south, to the island country of Malta and the city of Valletta. One of the striking features of the city is that it looks like it's been carved out of solid rock. All the buildings are made out of the same limestone. We arranged for a tour of the Grand Harbor in a traditional Maltese boat called a daisy. Our guide picks us up across from the ship, and we get settled in for an hour-and-a-half long tour.
Mine is not cold at all. It's beautiful.
My name is Gerard and my surname is Camilleri. Camilleri. Gerard. Gerard Ford.
We'll never forget it.
Here you see the Baraka Lift, an elevator that was reopened in 2012, and that we'll be taking after this tour to get up to the main part of the city.
What I was worried about is that
No problem. You tell me and I help you.
Right, you're nice.
Right? Good.
Gerald tells us he owns 6 boats, and it's a big part of the culture here. We feel particularly honored to be able to ride in the boat we're in today.
But this one, my father, they built it in 1929.
It's held up really. He must have done a good job because it's still holding up.
Yeah. This boat, when you have a boat, and wood boat, is like a woman. You want to take care of each year. And if they don't make a makeup, you don't take good, you don't look good.
That's right. Very
Yeah.
good. That's the way to treat a woman.
A lot of movies were filmed in this area, including The Maltese Falcon and Gladiator. But this area was heavily bombed in World War II, and these bunkers were used to quarantine the soldiers before they were moved up to the hospitals high on the cliffs. The buildings that housed the hospitals was originally a villa dating back to 1675. It is now being converted into a maritime museum and a college of architecture.
That is the 3 cities,
Yeah.
Victoriosa, Cosquica, and Senglia. This is Carcara Creek here. Carcara Creek. There is the Statue of Liberty, look. There's a family from America. They bring the Statue of Liberty here. And they make it in the balcony.
These floating nets are fish farms. They'll be towed out to sea and left for over 2 years. In the next small bay is the city of Birgu, also known as Vitrosia. Further down this bay is the city of Consquica, now known for its manufacture of large luxury yachts. At every point around the harbor, there are lookout towers, reminding people they are being seen and heard. One of the last areas we pass by is a shipyard where they repair oil rigs. It's amazing how large these structures are, and you really feel dwarfed by their immense size as you approach them in this small boat. When we originally booked this tour, it was going to be in a modern powerboat, But a few days before our arrival, we got a message saying that the boat wasn't going to be available and that he would make other arrangements for our tour. In the end, we were glad to be able to experience one of these traditional boats of Malta and meeting Gerald, our guide. Our next stop is the Upper Baraka Gardens. Fortunately, just over a year ago, a new elevator was installed, called the Baraka Lift. The original one was built in 1905, but finally ended operations in the 1970s. Being one of the highest points overlooking the Grand Harbor, it was a great area for defense, and offers spectacular views. Making our way to the streets of Valletta, we come across this interesting cafe. We just couldn't pass it up, so we decided to go in for a quick lunch and a cup of hot, strong coffee.
Oh, I've had 2 sips. Here we go. Let's go. There you go. Let's have to go. Come on. Let's go. Good stuff. Ciao.
Oh, is it bitter, Donna? It is so bitter.
I don't think it's bitter at all, really.
Oh my God.
Tastes like caffeine. Friend of the bean.
You know, you can't tell if it's just acting or if he's really different. He's different.
Mangiare.
So after enjoying a lunch of pumpkin soup, vegetarian risotto, and a bottle of Kenny, the local bittersweet orange soda pop of Malta, we were on our way. This calliope was built in 1936, and the owner here restored it himself. Now it can be hand cranked or run with an electric motor. This is one of the courtyards at the Grand Master's Palace. In the background is the palace clock. At the top of the clock are 4 figures known as jacquemarts. They represent Turkish slaves striking the clock bells. This is one of the many representations of the Maltese falcon, seen in statues throughout the city. The native limestone is also represented in this new government building. Each block was numbered when it was taken from the quarry, and then reassembled exactly as it laid in the ground. Our next stop was the Malta Experience, a 3D history of the island. Before ending our day in Valletta, we stop for another Kenny and head toward the lift to take us back down to the ship.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're going through.
Are those supposed to be counting off the seconds? It says 0.
That evening we were treated with a wonderful Mediterranean sunset as we sailed away from Valletta toward our next destination, Greece.